Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got quite a bit of news to go over today, so let's go ahead and just get straight to it. The first thing is that Ripple posted this just a little bit ago. RLUSD crossed $2 billion in market cap last week, with close to $1 billion issued on the XRP ledger. Live since December of 2024, built for real-world utility and designed for enterprise use cases. And RLUSD is just getting started. So the stablecoin RLUSD, we're seeing a lot of activity, a lot of things happening with that. Keep in mind that the ledger is also getting a lot more activity. We're seeing a ramp up in activity for XRP. So overall, the general market that Ripple is creating, this ecosystem, I should say, is getting really, really popular. Now let's go ahead and move on. XRP longs getting flushed. 1.18 billion in long positions wiped out on Bitfinex as leverage unwinds from the highs. Price holding steady at $1.47 despite deleveraging. This is healthy excess leverage clearing out before the next move. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's going to drop even more, or do you think we're going to start to see this climb back up once again? And XRP exchange outflows just spiked to their biggest level since February. Massive coins pulled off Binance, Coinbase, Upbit, and more in the last 2 weeks. Nobody selling, everybody is stacking. An XRP leverage ratio on Binance hits its highest level since January at 0.213, suggesting growing risk appetite and larger leverage positions in the derivatives market. And this is from Crypto Quant. And from VET, all of it ready out of the box without a tax collector or middleman, with institutions and retail users bootstrapping. XRP Ledger order book and AMM, XRP Ledger tokenization, XRP Ledger compliance features, and upcoming XRP Ledger credit, XRP Ledger privacy. Building a strong foundation throughout bull and bear markets is the best way to move forward. And just in, tokenized Broadcom, which is AVGO, is now live on the XRP ledger. From Vincent Van Code, they're just not letting XRP pump at these low 24-hour volumes. It started rallying up to $1.49, and then a cascading dump pushed the price down again. Eventually, they will lose too much money as volume starts up again, but right now on Binance, volume is less than 400 million. Gemini brings direct XRP ledger transfers to Singapore. Gemini has enabled XRP deposits and withdrawals throughout the XRP ledger for customers in Singapore. Users can now transfer XRP between Gemini and external XRPL addresses. They can withdraw XRP directly to compatible addresses outside the exchange. The exchange did not announce new XRP trading pairs or fee changes. Customers must verify addresses, networks, and destination tags before sending XRP. On-chain activity confirms it. XRP receiving addresses just spiked 698%. Combined with 3 straight days of record Bitwise XRP ETF volume, we're looking at over $80 million today. This looks like real accumulation. Canary Capital CEO Stephen McClurg on XRP. The recent 40% rally, quote, no shocker, and wouldn't be surprised by another 40% move in early 2027. $2.50 incoming before 2027. What do you guys think? SEC registration statement shows Arlington XRP Capital Fund selling all 84,298 of its shares, going from full position to 0% ownership after the offering. Others selling stockholders in the same filing also fully exiting. You have Android 21 LLC, 272,405 shares down to 0. Lunarian Inc., 148,676 shares down to 0. Worth watching who's cashing out versus accumulating right now. And Clarity Act negotiations are over. This is according to XRP Radar. Senator Bernie Moreno says the 11-month negotiations are officially done. Now it comes down to the vote. If passed, the Clarity Act could provide the regulatory framework institutions have been waiting for, potentially opening the door to trillions of dollars in digital asset capital. And for XRP, this could be a very important moment. Regulatory clarity, institutional access, bigger crypto markets. The next move is Congress. Intrinsic research is now live. It links tokenized real-world assets on the XRP ledger to their underlying validated market data, ledger identity, and official events. The calendar shows when. Research explains what and verifies it. SEC filing. Granite shares delays effectiveness of its 3x leveraged crypto ETF suite to September 30th, 2026. Form 485BXT filed August 25th, post-effective amendment number 107, pushback, covers 3x long short, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. And ETPs are finally starting to cover a significant portion of XRP supply. Ready for ETP-based price action for XRP? Well, it's going pretty wild. And from Stellar Rippler, Brad was absolutely right about Clarity Act and XRP's institutional scale adoption. American Bankers Association just confirmed that banks of all sizes are racing into tokenized deposits and blockchain payments. Brad revealed at the Senate that the only thing holding back institutional scale adoption of digital assets is the Clarity Act. The XRP ledger has already been tested by central banks, JP Morgan, BlackRock, and a long list of institutions. Ripple has licenses in over 80 countries. Treasuries, tokenized stocks, commodities, currencies, all already live on XRPL. They're basically telling us that the countdown has started. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the price action for XRP. So here we are on the day sitting below $1.50. Yesterday, we were a little bit above $1.50. At one point, we did see a high around $1.53. We actually got higher today. We went up to about $1.55. It would have been really nice to see it retesting here around $1.70, which was back on August 22nd. But where we are at for the day is essentially the same stopping point back on Sunday, which is $1.55. So a lot of activity on Saturday and Sunday. It's something that you don't typically see with crypto. That was highly unusual. And just in general, you guys can see this massive, massive candle. Almost looks like kind of like a middle finger at the moment, which it's not a great thing, but maybe it's a middle finger to all the people that were shorting it. I think that makes more sense. As it is right now, though, we definitely see a wall going up here around $1.50, $1.55. And with it being a little bit red on the day, it's nothing that's too worrying in my opinion, because even now we're still above where the body candle was on August 23rd. So that green candle still looking quite well. If it does drop down below, where is that at? $1.46. Then I would be looking at potentially another retest right around here. It's right around $1.44. We can see the bottom of the wicks are pretty close to those ranges. Then underneath that, we got $1.40. Dropping below that Fibonacci zone, we might see a drop all the way back down here to $1.13. That would not be ideal. Right now, the Bollinger Band is absolutely wide. Volume yesterday was very low. That volume that we saw yesterday is comparable to what we saw for back on August 19th. So started to see volume activity kicking up towards the end of the week, Thursday, Friday. Of course, Saturday was really big, but Sunday, boom. Isn't it crazy to think about that? Sunday, after such a massive spike, the volume was actually worse than what we saw on Friday. So I think a lot of the activity that happened Saturday is largely due to liquidations, not necessarily direct people's involvement, but more of a secondary impact because of people just being overextended on their positions. And as we zoom out even more, let's go ahead and see a little bit more history behind XRP. So as we zoom in here, last time they were at these price levels going back in time is around May 15th. We did have a big spike up here on May 14th. It shot all the way up to around $1.55. Let's go ahead and zoom back out here again. Right around $1.55 is the same point that we've been seeing with these other instances. So let's go ahead and set up ourselves horizontal array. I want to show you guys this. Make sure I get this saved. All right, so take a look at this. We've got an instance back here on May 14th. We also have it on August 23rd, August 25th. This is a very strong trend position. Can I even extend this out more? Let's see. If I bring this out, yeah, even here. For whatever reason, they have $1.55 as a very, very strong point that they just do not want to seem to let it get beyond. So if we can get beyond that and hold it, then great. But we're going to have a little bit more hassle as we try to get back above $1.84, the Fibonacci zone. Of course, $2 is psychological. But yeah, just look at this, guys. Zooming out more. we essentially just started dropping real heavy here once it got to a high around $2.42. Started dropping, tried to climb, dropped further down, really fell down low, came back, more or less consolidated for a while before it started dropping again, started consolidating with a little bit of dissension happening, and then really just spiked up here. Some crazy, crazy numbers happening recently. And let me know what you guys think about all this. Share your thoughts with us down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you're doing well. Be safe. God bless. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.